Welcome back. This is Dr. Eric Roden, physical therapist at Neurology Solutions, and today we're going to go over a ball series I tend to use for basically hand-eye coordination, eye tracking, as well as a little bit of dexterity and even some reaction. So let's do what we can. Follow along if possible. You can also do this in a seated position. So if you are unbalanced, make sure you are safe about this. Always have someone with you the first time you try these, or always review this with your trainer or physical therapist. If you don't have one, come see us. We'd like to help you. So to begin, simply using a tennis ball, you could use a lacrosse ball, any type of ball basically. And we're going to do basically a different series with hand positions. So the first one is very simple. You're going to toss underhand and catch underhand. It seems simple enough, but to be able to replicate the same height, give or take, every time is much more challenging than you think, especially with a lighter ball. You'll notice if you try a lacrosse ball versus a tennis ball, you're going to notice there's going to be a little difference. The lacrosse ball is heavier, it gives you a little bit more feedback to the brain, and you tend to be able to actually produce and replicate the same amount of force each time. So if you notice, right, with our Parkinson's patients, anybody dealing with movement disorders, it's hard to replicate power. Can I do this over and over again? A lot of the times you go a little low, you go really high. So see if you can replicate that same height over and over. And do a timer, maybe about 30 seconds or so, and then you're going to switch sides. So let's go with our left hand. So that non-dominant side, that might be a little bit more problematic. That's good for the brain, a little neuroplasticity, trying to make some new connections there, since we're definitely a little slower on that, but that's what we're trying to work on. That's what the exercise is for. So again, just nice and easy, trying to replicate that same height. If you have something on the wall you can measure for the height, that's also a good version. All right, so we're going to move on now. We're going to throw underhand and catch, throw under, catch over. Okay, so it takes a little more coordination. So it's a little more speed. This is working on your supination, pronation of the hand, common area that tends to be problematic for patients, but really important, right, for feeding, doing your hair, brushing your teeth. You need to be able to turn that hand over, okay? It definitely works on some depth perception, being able to try to grab that ball each time. Good, let's try to switch to the other side. Grab, toss, grab under. Toss, grab under. A lot of times people tend to throw it away from them. So again, try to find that spot each time that you're able to replicate the height and the distance from your body. And keep in mind, there's a little variability there. That's totally normal. All right, now, hardest version, at least the standing one. You're going to toss underhand, catch underhand. So I'm going to toss and catch. So it's a little bit of a flick of the wrist. Now that ability to create extension in the wrist, a common deficit in the Parkinson's world, right? Hands tend to curl in. We don't tend to get that big hand. So be able to have that clean flick of the wrist over and over again can definitely be challenging. I'll probably be dropping this, so it's not easy for anybody. This is a relatively high-level coordination drill for anyone, but highly recommend you trying it out, seeing if you can do it. And let's switch sides. Let's go to the other one. Definitely less coordinated on this left side, but as you go, your performance should improve, and you should be able to get a little bit better at it. Doing good. Keep it up. Whoops, see, that one got away from me. So again, trying to replicate. That's that reaction time. So if you throw it wrong, you got to react and step accordingly. So that'd be the tossing series where you're going up. Same concept through the whole series would be going down, so bouncing the ball. Again, having to produce amplitude, a certain amount of power to bounce the ball up. So I'm going to throw it underhand, catch it overhand. So just literally bouncing the ball. Now this could be a basketball, again, a racquetball, lacrosse ball, whatever you got. Just simply, can I replicate that same height over and over again? Because that is a common challenge in the movement disorder world. Now, if you're really feeling fancy, you can even walk with it, right? That adds dual tasking. We're walking and talking. We're walking and bouncing a ball. Definitely an added challenge. Even in this small space here, maybe I'm going to take a step, back and forth. Maybe I'm going to come forward, back and forth, right? Not an easy thing, because you have to change where you're bouncing the ball. So very easy. You could alternate back and forth. That's a nice way to do it, right? So you get both sides going, that connection between. Definitely easy. If you want to get fancy, you can do some spins, but leave that with your therapist. Now, what I also like to do is utilizing the wall, okay? Because that one, you don't have full control over, and it's all about angles. So when I throw it against the wall, it comes back at a certain level depending on how hard I throw it. Throw it a little harder, it's going to come back harder, right? Throw it up, it's going to arc down. So being able to toss the ball against the wall, again, underhand, overhand. See, keeping on dropping things. I had to change my power, how much I was throwing, to be able to catch it and replicate that over and over again. See, not easy to do. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side again. And you can also alternate, going back and forth. Now, if you have a spouse, therapist, trainer, and you're feeling really high level, you can even have someone behind you. You can be standing close to the wall, and they can actually throw it from behind, and you can react and try to catch it. So that would be a very high-end reactive control. I hope you enjoyed the series. Again, these are some simple ways you can enhance your coordination in the hand, dexterity, eye tracking, and reaction. Hope to see you next time.